Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and today on Lahmacun Kitchen we're gonna make صفايح, لحم بعجين or lahmacun. That's true. This recipe gets its name from Arabic words where lahm means meat and ajun means bread. So it's bread with meat. I'm gonna show you how to make it at home in a simple way. And I know you're thinking, those look too perfect to be homemade. I bet those are store-bought. Well, thank you. This is the best compliment you can give these things. It means you made them so real that they look fake. It's called Turkish pizza here in Turkey, and I don't know why it's called like this. Maybe because it's got the usual kind of crispy pizza base. I think there is no comparison. But anyway, let me show you how this works. It's surprisingly easy. So with that, let's go ahead and get started. I've here a couple pounds of tomato, which we will peel and mince. So what we do first here is pull off that green part from the top, and then we'll also go ahead and cut out the core with the tip of a knife like this. Next up is peeling them, and then cut them in half or quarters or any shape you like, because after all, we will toast that in a food processor where it will do the whole mission for us. After that, we're gonna go ahead and cut those red pepper and jalapeno pepper. I like it to be hot, but if this is not your favorite, you can go ahead and use any kind of pepper you want. So all you need to do here is cutting off the tip, then pull out the seed and throw that in a food processor. You can use as much pepper as you want. Some people like to use one piece of paper, others like to use more than this amount of paper, so there is no rule about this. So go ahead and use any amount you like, and if you don't like peppers, you can skip it. Now let's go ahead and mince that very well. Pulse it many times until you get them soft like a sauce. Next step is the onions, but here onions should be double the amount of the meat that you're gonna use. So here I used 1 pound of meat, so the onions must be 2 pounds. And what about tomato? It should be the same amount of the meat. 1 pound of tomato means 1 pound of meat. You will need to add 3 cloves of garlic too. Last but definitely not least is the parsley. Grab yourself a bunch of parsley, put that there in the food processor, turn it on until they are all finely minced, okay? And what I like to do next is transferring the sauce to a big bowl where we can go ahead and get the rest of the ingredient together, and those will include the meat, to which I'm gonna add 1 tablespoon of paper paste, 2 tablespoons of butter, and we'll also add 1 tablespoon of salt, 1 tablespoon of black pepper powder, and then we'll go ahead and finish up with a pinch of chili pepper, about 1 teaspoon, and that's it. We will simply take a spatula or a big spoon, or maybe even better, yet your hands, and we'll mix this until thoroughly combined, or then maybe even a little more. At that point, we need to drain the meat from the excess water by putting that on a drainer for 10 minutes, and the reason why we need to drain that is that the moisture in the mixture will prevent the filling from sticking on the dough. We need to drain that because nobody wants to eat lahmacun without without meat. So we have to find a trick. And once that's been drained off, we go ahead, transfer it to a big bowl. And if you can see here, that was a big amount of moisture that we definitely don't need in this recipe. Now bring a plastic wrap, cover it, and let it rest in the fridge for half an hour, or until we finish preparing the dough. Meanwhile, we have to prepare our flatbread dough, and as usual, that's gonna start with some warm water, 2 cups, as well as 1 tablespoon of sugar, and a bucket of yeast, to which I'm gonna add 2 cups of flour. And by the way, if you find that packaged yeast in the back of the cupboard like I did, and it's all weird and chunky, and you're not sure if it's still good, what we can do is give it a stir, cover it with a plastic wrap, and then wait like 15 minutes to see if it foams up, which means it's still good. And if this yeast is still alive, it's gonna look something like this. So we have a proof of life here. And once we determined our yeast is alive, we can go ahead and add the rest of our classic flatbread dough ingredients, which is nothing but half a cup of yogurt, which you can skip, but we use it to make the dough soft, so I recommend you to use it. Then 3 cups of flour, gradually, okay? Last but not least is 1 tablespoon of salt, and once that's all in there, we go ahead and knead this with our hands or a stand mixer or whatever you want. Also scraping down the sides once or twice if you have to. But anyway, we'll go ahead and knead this for 10 minutes or for however long it takes to form a very smooth, very soft, fairly elastic, fairly sticky dough. And if everything goes according to plan, it should look something like this. So that was looking and feeling just about perfect. And once that's set, we can move on to transfer that to a big bowl, which by the way I greased with olive oil, brushed the top of the dough too with olive oil, and you know what, you can go ahead and work immediately with the dough. Do you remember that 15 minutes to see if the yeast was working? Yeah, that's right, that was enough for the dough to rest. So anyway, let's go ahead and with the help of our hand, we'll try to cut that into very equal sized pieces, like the size of an egg, and then we'll form these small round loaves. So just roll them into balls, and that's it. Alright, once your little rounds are formed, you're gonna cover that with a plastic wrap or a towel, and at that point, we're ready to roll our pita bread. So I'm gonna take one piece of dough, and on a floured surface, I'm gonna bat it flat, and if you want, you can add a little more flour on top. Not too much, just enough, so it doesn't stick. And that we're gonna roll that out to a very thin layer as you can get. Now spread that meat mixture on it, transfer it to a pan. Now we're gonna head over to the stove where we put it on medium heat pan, and basically we're gonna grill it for 2 or 3 minutes, and then to a preheated oven on the top. Only put that in the upper rack for 3 to 4 minutes, and that's it. Now I'm gonna finish the whole quantity, and to finish it fast, use 2 pans instead of 1 if you wanna make a big quantity like me, which by the way made us about 13 pieces nearly, where I used only 5 cups of flour, and that's it. What we call صفايح or لحمة بعجين or lahmacun is done. They're beautifully crispy on the edges, and depending on your filling, should smell amazing. And technically, you can eat these at any time, but they're probably too way hot right now, so I'm gonna wait for them to cool for at least 5 to 10 minutes. I know I had to wait, but what I had more are 3rd-degree burns on the roof of my mouth, so I let mine set for a few minutes, and at that point, your lahmacun is done. Now let's go ahead and make the official taste. Let me roll these like a wrap, squeeze a little bit of lemon juice, and enjoy. It's amazing how there is a combination between that crispy edges, crust, and the moist tender inner crust that's basically been steamed with all these delicious meat and vegetable juices. Just a perfect combination of taste and texture, and very tender, very light, just a fantastic bite of food. And that's it, what we call صفايح or lahmacun is done, which I really do hope you give this a try soon. It's a restaurant quality recipe where you can easily make at home. And if you liked my video, please make sure to subscribe, like, follow and share so you can help me get more people to reach لتاكن's Kitchen. Stay healthy, have fun, and as always, thank you for watching.